All right, so how bad do you want your goal, and what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get said goal? Okay, have you decided to stop trying and start doing? Because a lot of times when I talk to people about their goal, they say, well, I'm trying to do such and such. All right, and there's no such thing as trying. Either you're doing it or you're not. All right, are you ready to start doing? Are you willing to start doing? And by willing, what have you decided that you're willing to sacrifice to get this goal? Because the goal you want has to come with a sacrifice. There's a price. Okay, most people want the prize, but they do not want to pay the price. The price is that sacrifice. That sacrifice is something that one has to willingly decide to pick this over that. Okay, period. You're going to look at this and say, no, I don't want this. I'd rather get that. And that comes at a sacrifice. That comes at a price. All right. Health is a commitment. Okay. It's not a one size fits all. It's not a quick 1 day detox or 7 day detox. It's really something that you use to reset. All right. It's a mindset shift. So the question is, are you willing to shift your mindset? Because the gap between the life you're living and the life you want is going to be closed by a change in mindset, an increase in focus, and a commitment to consistency. Are you willing to change your mindset, to focus on the things that you truly want, and to be consistent at it for a period of time? Because that's the only way you're going to attain it. Are you willing? Have you decided to stop trying and start doing? Okay? If you're willing, type in right now, I'm ready for my transformation. Because I know a couple of you on here are already in the process of that. But if you are truly willing, type in, I am ready for my transformation. Because that's what it's going to take. A change in mindset, an increase in focus, and a commitment to consistency. And you have to know what you want. All right? You have to know what you want. And that's what we talked about yesterday when we talked about goals. All right? Goals. What are your goals? A lot of people walk around and they literally have zero goals. They don't have a plan for what they're doing. They're just going through the motions. Well, guess what? A ship without a destination will wind up being lost. So first of all, find out what is it that you really want, because that clarity will allow you to focus. Okay? And when you have clarity and you're focused on a particular thing, all you have to do is show up every single day. I was talking to a young man, 35-year-old guy, and he said to me, that he wanted to be in shape and be in shape like me when he gets to 50 something. And I said, yeah, that's an admirable goal. And he said, is it difficult? I said, no, not really. I said, how many days between 35 and 55? It's about close to 7,600. Let's round it up, right? Yeah, just show up 7,600 times consistently. And if you show up 7,600 times consistently, and not only like I say consistently, but consistently and willing to improve, to be dynamically consistent, not showing up and doing the same thing, showing up and challenging yourself to do better every single day. If you do that, right? If you're willing to do that, you will be where I am, if not much further. Because I can't really say that I was 100% on it 7,600 days over the last 20 years, but I was on it way more times than not. Are you willing? Okay? Consistent action creates consistent results, but you have to be willing to do it. It takes a daily commitment. Okay? And for a lot of people, honestly, the people I work with 30-day program, it takes a hand holding, especially in the beginning part. All right? It takes that accountability. It takes that partner. It takes that that person that encourages you on a daily basis, that person that keeps you in line, you know, because for the first 21 to 30 days, that is when you're building that habit. Okay? Between 30 to 90 days, that is when you're building a lifestyle. In the process of that building and that formulation of a habit and a lifestyle, you do need guidance in many cases. Very few people can actually do it on their own. Some people can, but very few people can actually do it 100% on their own and do it effectively, to be consistent and to be efficient at it. All right? But that is what it takes. And the question is, are you willing? Are you willing? Because I see a lot of people, once again, and they go through these processes, right? And when they go through these processes, they're doing stuff, all right? They're doing stuff. And just because you're doing stuff doesn't mean you're getting somewhere. Let's not confuse activity for progress, okay? Because a lot of times people are doing a lot of activity. They're doing stuff. But the stuff that you may be doing may not be getting you your desired results. You know, I worked with somebody that's just the other day. They were, been working out for years, all right? Going to the gym. I saw him, for a couple months in the gym, working out. And he was showing up, okay? But the results that he was looking for, he wasn't getting, all right? And within about 60 days of him working with me, a slight change in diet and a slight modification to workout, between November and March, he was down 30 pounds. Same guy, going to the gym, almost with the same regularity. The only difference was guidance. So the first thing you want to do is you want to break down, what do you want? What are your goals? We talked about that yesterday, all right? Select a couple of goals and target them, all right? And don't worry about trying to achieve all of them, but you want something to just aim for, all right? And for the next 30 to 90 days, focus all your energy and your focus and your time on the activities that move you closer to those goals. Don't worry about being perfect. Worry about being consistent, all right? I always tell people sometimes it's worry about the things you have to sacrifice, giving up the things. You'll build up the skill set. You'll build up the rhythm and all those things like that. But it's about just focus, showing up and then getting gradually better, understanding it better, all right? When you understand that you targeted certain goals, right, then you can actually start to get more detailed with it. But in the beginning, keep it simple. If you're trying to do it on your own, keep it simple, all right? Give yourself easy tasks to complete every single day. I always, when I work with people, I start off with things like waking up at a certain time, drinking your water, doing moderate exercises, even if it's just a quick 3 things, push-up, planks, sit-ups, squats, boom. Do them every morning. You can get those done within 5 or 10 minutes, all right? A quick round. Do it once in the morning, once at night. Drink your water. Make sure that you eat at a certain time. Those are easy things, And then you become organized and then you build around that, all right? You build around that. Keep your food choices simple. Pick a couple simple things you like, rinse and repeat, all right? The main thing is don't get caught up in that. Make sure that you're staying away from the things that you're not supposed to be doing. But the thing is, once again, you have to be willing, because these things will come at a sacrifice. Someone says, I struggle with my food choices. A lot of people struggle with their food choices. And the reason why is because they're looking at everything. And that's when I help people, right, we narrow it down, all right? Show me the things you like. Let's pick the things that you like that are actually good for you. Let's eliminate the rest. All right? A lot of times, the biggest problem is we walk around in our world, right? And I always talk about the difference between options and opportunities, all right? And we see so many options of foods to eat. We see so many options of things to do. But very few of those options will offer you the opportunity you really want. All right? And sometimes it takes somebody with a little bit of experience and a little bit of guidance to point out the difference between an option and an opportunity. All right? When we look at our food is supposed to be fuel. It's supposed to give us nutrients, right? So there's a lot of things out there to eat, right? But very few of those options will provide you the opportunity for proper nutrition without also harming you, all right? Having somebody help you pick those things, right? And build a lifestyle around those things that you can be consistent with, right? Easily, without having to make it too convoluted, is how you start off and how you build a good lifestyle, right? A sustainable lifestyle. Because especially in the beginning, it's not easy, okay? Especially in the beginning, it is not easy. And so a lot of times when I work with people, I try to whittle it down to about 5 or 6 choices. About 2 or 3 choices for breakfast, about 3 or 4 choices for lunch, and usually we just rinse and repeat dinner. But it's choices that they like, and it's choices that are consistent. We keep it simple, all right? And I'm there as a guardrail to move them down the path until they get consistent, right? But they're gonna have to discipline themselves. And sometimes it's easier to build discipline when you have accountability. That's when I work with people and, checking on them on a daily basis, spot check the meal, say, okay, and give them good critique as we move along. But the main thing is you have to be willing to make that choice, willing to make the sacrifice, willing to be consistent and accept the guidance. Because if it doesn't happen, it doesn't work. Lexi can attest to that. Yes, that helps. I just recently worked with her, and she had phenomenal results over 30 days. You can share it, Lexi, if you choose to, but she had phenomenal results over a 30-day period. Lost some good weight and, and other great progresses, if you will. But it required a little bit of guidance, right? And some encouragement. Because a lot of times, you know what? When you're trying to do that, some people get discouraged. Okay? And I always say this to people. Everyone wants to do better. There's not a single person that I will ask, right? Also, there you go. Lexi lost 13 pounds and she dropped her A1C from out of diabetic range into a 5. So now she does not have to take medication. Thank you for sharing that, Lexi. But everybody wants to do well. Okay? The question is, most people are not willing. All right? Because although a lot of people want it, they do not want. They're not willing to make the sacrifice. They're not willing to accept the guidance. They're not willing to be accountable for their actions. So that's why you have to be willing. You have to be willing to accept guidance. You have to come in with an open mind to learn and to change, sometimes to unlearn. That was some of the battles sometimes with food. I shouldn't say battles, but some of the things with food with even Lexi, since she offered, was having to realign and say, hey, that's not good. Even though you've been hearing your whole life that it was good, it's not good, right? And being willing to accept a new truth, right? And then apply it. And she did that, and within 30 days or so, 13 pounds and dropped her A1C. Okay? Lexi's a nice lady, but she's not special. All she did was be consistent. You can do the same thing if you are willing. Consistent action creates consistent results. But the consistency part lies with your willingness to show up every day. And really the truth is, you're showing up for who? You're showing up for yourself. All right? You're showing up for yourself. So right now we have between, a few days left until the mid part of the year. And a lot of you made promises to yourself. A lot of you promised yourself that you were going to do this and that. But unfortunately, some of you haven't followed through with that. That's the truth. So now what is this today? May the 7th? Are you willing to follow through? Are you willing to show up for yourself? Are you willing to now do things for yourself that you promised yourself that you would do? So that you can start moving yourself towards that life, that goal that you say you truly want. And for many people, guess what? What's the goal? The goal is what? A healthier life. Feeling better about themselves, being able to actually enjoy life. But you have to be willing. So that's the question. Are you willing? All right? All right? So if you're willing, send me a message. Or better yet, if you're willing, just type on this message, I'm willing. All right? Because that's how you're going to transform your life. But your transformation has to come at sacrifice. Your transformation has to be intentional. All right? So Black Pharaoh God, if you're willing, right? Facial Lotus, if you're willing, reach out to me via DM. Siri, I see you every morning. If you're willing, you guys reach out. Reach out and let's work. And let's make the next 30 to 60 days truly transformative. All right? We don't have to wait for the 1st. We don't have to wait for a Monday. Today could be your day. All right? Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Have a fantastic, fantastic Transformation Tuesday, right? And take that energy and apply it everywhere else. Everywhere you want to be changed, you want to see change. Understand that change is going to come at a sacrifice. Go get it. Later.